Hello everyone. So in the series of lecture, uh, I'm Vikmar Jimode from SR University, Warangal. So before two topics, like last two topics, we discussed about the introduction to cybersecurity and the threats, vulnerabilities, and the risk management. Now in the current topic, we will discuss about the security framework and the threat modeling. So security framework means that is decided by some standard organizations like in US based organizations, if we say that is NIST, National Institute of Standard Technology, or if we see the global based, that is the international standard for the standard organization for the standardization, ISO. So those are the security framework decision maker, NIST, ISO, these are. And if we discuss about the threat modeling, that means that way to understand the threat and secure from the threats. So there are threat modeling things like a Microsoft threat modeling tool, to the different tools like people are understand about the basic of threat modeling, how to secure the assets from the threats, like these things. Okay. So let's go in the today's lecture uh, to understand the security framework and threat model. So security framework and threat modeling, building structured, proactive, and discover cyber defense system. Why we are saying proactive? That means that is active in a pre-orderly, right? Before the attack, they are active. That means alarming system, we can say. Building structured and risk-aware system. That means for the risk they are aware to the organization or the users, like those things. Okay. So if we go the objective of today's lecture to understand why security frameworks are essential in cyber defense. Okay. After this topic, learners will be able to learn, identify widely used security frameworks and their purpose. Okay, that means what kind of risks are there, evaluate the progress, make changes. So discussion of current security rules, discussion of required security guidelines, what make changes are needed to evaluate the progress in this. So applying threat modeling to the real world scenarios, applying analyzing the security gap using the structured methodology that we already understood that this topic is about to discuss the security framework and the threat modeling. Okay. So these are the objective of this lecture. So let's see the first case. We see the simple case about the cloud data breaching. That means there are the cloud data right now, the cloud-based platform or the cloud-based simulations or the running model of the cloud is as we say the Google Drive, OneDrive, okay, like if we say the Apple Storage Drive, these are the cloud-based security, right? So from that, if there's a breaching of the data, so first scenario, we discuss cloud-based education platform exposes student data, right? So like issues identify missing access control policies. Then what are the threats or what are the issues or the assets, right? Assets means data, either the money or the some documents. Okay, these are the data. So we can say the missing access control policies, no normal security framework followed, no threat modeling during the design. So we are following some cloud security or cloud based platform, but those have some misses access control policy. We'll discuss about the access control and what is that IAM rule, like identity access management. We'll discuss in the upcoming lecture. Now, if there is no formal security, if there is no threat modeling, so what will happen there? Because of those, there may be the breaching of the data is possible. Okay. Lesson applying what to do for the security, applying the NIST framework, applying the stride theory. We will understand the spoofing, like threat modeling. These stride, what is stride, we will understand in the upcoming like slides. Could have identified data exposure risk early. So if we follow the NIST exposure, what is NIST exposure? We will discuss in the upcoming slides. If we follow the stride rule, that means we will follow the stride rule to secure the data. We will understand what is stride in the upcoming slide. Okay, we can identify the breaching of the data beforely, the proactively, and awareness of the risk so that we can secure the data breaching in the cloud. Okay, so case study two. So we are understanding now why security framework and the threat modeling is needed. So like threat modeling stride tool and the NIST framework, like the ISO framework, why it's needed. So first case we understood the cloud breaching is there, so we need that thing. Second, we understood it if it is there, banking application fraud, right? Unauthorized transaction through a mobile banking app. What the weak things are there? Authentication mechanism, no spoofing and privilege escalation analysis, right? So those are the issue. That means those are the things. That's why the mobile app banking application fraud has been done. But if there is a threat modeling using straight happens, that can prevent the identity based attacks. If there is a framework driven control enforces for the strong authentication, then there will be no application fraud possibilities, right? So now we understand through the case studies why. So first we understood what. Okay, what means what is the like analysis, like what the framework, security framework, and what is the uh, kind of threat model. Okay, now we understanding why the security framework, and so what we understood, that means this is the what we understood, right? So we linked to the what. Okay, now we understood why we need the security framework and threat model. The two cases we understood. There are many cases, right? You can see the cloud-based, bank application-based. You are phishing by the some messaging-based, right? So now we understand two based on two pieces. Uh, like why we need the security framework and threat model. If we do the next case, there is a healthcare ransomware attack, right? What's the possibility there? Hospital system locked by a ransomware or disrupting the patient's care, right? What the issues we identify here? Lack of detection and response planning, poor risk assessment. That means if there is a issue that the data is not secure, right? That means data can be hacked by the ransomware malware, right? That means your data cannot be usable again by the hospital authority, and that completely will be hacked by the hackers or some malware attackers. So what the lessons here? We follow the security framework and we follow the threat model. So again, in the through the third case, so through the three cases, one by one, we understood why the security framework and threat modeling is needed. First one about the cloud breaching, second one about the application bank application fraud, third one the healthcare and somewhere. Okay. Now, what we understood here, security frameworks and threat modeling. What is security framework? So the importance of security framework, that means why. So I told you what and why. What are the popular security frameworks? NIST, National Institute of Standard and Technology. Actually, the National Institute of Standard Technology was developed in 1901, right? Developed in 1901, and it, previously the name of that National Institute of Standard Technology was National Institute of Standard, National Bureau of Standard. Okay, in the 1901, but it is renamed as the National Institute of Technology at the 1988, and it is a US-based cybersecurity agency. Okay, so if we discuss about that National Institute of Technology and National Institute of Standard and Technology, that is based in US based, right? If we discuss of ISO, that means international standardized international standardization for the organization, right? So we say about the CIS, Center of Internet Security, right? So like this, those are the popular security framework, right? So NIST, National Institute of Standard Technology, ISO, International Organization for Standardization, that is global. Okay. So first NIST is based on US. Okay. And second ISO is based on the globals, right? Global that decide the management, like information management, right? Kind of the data management, those kind of things globally. They provide the certificate by a third party. And that NIST is completely based on the US cybersecurity. And CIS is based on, if we say CIS is based on the something of the independent system that is for the internet security, right? Uh, so what is threat modeling? We understood that is completely different ways, right? Data and the complete cyber security and the internet security, right? Now we understand what is threat modeling. We have people understood about the threat modeling also. In the threat modeling, there is a different approach, stride approach and attack surface analysis. So we focus on more about the stride approach. Then we understand about the relationship between what the relationship between the security framework and threat modeling. Okay, so let's see. I think it is full screen to the house. Okay, let's see. So we will also so those things. So from those things we already understood what is and why. Security frameworks are the NIST, IST, CIS. NIST is US based. IS is a global base that provides a certificate by a third party like a Bureau Veritas and other parties. Okay. CIS is based on the internet security protocols. Kind of you can say the network security protocols, internet security protocol. And what the threat modeling we will like the modeling against the threats, right? To secure the threats, right? That's we understand. Actually, we will understand more on a threat modeling approach that is right, and we will understand the relationship between the security modeling, security framework, and the threat. So, security framework, like we discussed already, if we discuss in detail, security modeling framework help to organize, design, implement, and manage a security control. Okay, because the framework that means the organization to decide current security posture, communication risk, assess progress, towards target posture, okay, describe target security posture, continuous improvement. So a security framework is a structured set of guideline, best practice standards. You can say it's a documentation, controlling, and proof and the certificate kind of things that provide a rule-based framework so that the organizations can be decide the security way in their for their users like that. Provide consistency, compliance, and risk-based decision making used by a governance enterprise and critical infrastructure. So in easy way we can understand the security framework decide the rule, document, and the certificate so that the organizations make sure the security for the users, right? Or the users believe the organization to use their company data or the use their applications like that things. Okay, so and also the organization can say to the company that we have this ISO standard certificate so that you can believe on us like that. CSE will go and so those company has ISO standard, right? So like that, the things are there. Why security framework matters or the why needed? Reduce cyber risk systematically ensure compliance with law and regulation, improve incident response and readiness, align security with business objective, enable measurable and credible security practice. So these are simple things, right? So compliance and laws, okay, response, business objective, and the security practices. Now, NISTs, as we discussed, National Institute of Standard Technology, that is based on US, that work based on a five principles, right? Identify, detect, then protect from it, then detect it, and respond it, and recover. It is widely used in critical infrastructure enterprises, right? ISO focus on information security management system, emphasize information, data, application management, right? It is used as a critical infrastructure and data enterprise. So if some company based on the data and information that need to authorized by ISO certificate to win the project bid or to win the government or private like authorities winning the project of related to the good authority, right? So some it is not mandatory, but it is like needed to make sure that your organization is working good for the security framework. So every companies, the big companies or small medium sized companies depend on their size. The ISO certificate gives take a charges to make an audit, then give a certificate like that things happen. So they check the company, audit the company, then after that they provide the third party certificate. That ISO directly does not do it, but some third party do it. Like in India, there are one company, Vivek, they check the security measurement and they provide a certificate, something like that. So ISO 27001, and you can check online also if some company is certified by ISO, like TCS is ISO based on or not. I think TCS is based on ISO certified, Pro is based on ISO certified, Infosys based ISO certified, right? CINT is based on it. Those have a data and infrastructure. Few are based on certified by NIST and few are based on certified by the ISO. It is a global certificate, okay, and it is a US based certificate, okay. Like the same, if we say the product, like the green mark is there in the product, we say ISI certified. The same thing in a cyber security, there's ISO certified. This is a central internet security, right, for the data. Internet security. So it's a detailed list of external security control, practical implementation focus. So this is a critical security control. That means the internet. CIS is a certificate that provide the internet security control. Okay, central internet security, we can say. Okay, so if we go to the next, identify, protect, detect, and respond, recover. So NIST framework, what does it control? As I already told you, it is a National Institute of Standard Technology, renamed as this name in 1988. Okay, and it is identify, protect, detect, respond, and recover the working style or the framework of the NIST. So identify means asset management, business environment, governance, risk assessment, risk management strategy. Protect, access control, okay, awareness training, data security, information protection, maintenance, and protective technology. Detect means anomalies and events, security continuous detection process. Respond means according to this, identify, detect, response about the planning, communication, analysis, mitigation, improvement, and then recover it. Recovery, planning, improvement, communication. So these are the complete framework organized by the NIST, that is National Institute of Standard and Technology. Okay, so if we go to the next, ISO. ISO is a international standard or the international organization for standardization. Okay, so that is ISO that provides the ISO 27001. If you open the phone pay as well, it is certified by ISO 27001. When you open, you can see in starting that says certified by ISO 27001 is a certificate, right? So what does followed the steps? So it make the organizational context and scope, the leadership, planning, support, operation, evolution, improvement that follows the framework by ISO. We will study more details about the ISO in the information system management, information security system management. Okay, that means data information. So the main work of ISO to provide the certificate to the company, those are needed to the information and data or applications. Okay, then CSO. CSO is completely based on the internet. Most of the time it's based on the internet thing, so we can say here network, right? Network information, data, malware, email, audit, log management, access control, security, data protection, penetration testing, incident. So it is all about the network security. That is for the 18 CIC control. They provide the control framework for the internet and network security. Okay, so those are the different testing. Penetration means before deploying some application, checking that application, that if application will work properly in the running status or not. That is kind of mock test. Okay, application software security. That means that particular applications based whatever software is based on that application is secure from malwares or the any attackers or not, right? Defense monitoring, that means whatever network is there, like suppose Wi-Fi network or any net or internet that is secure, or any website application that is secure from the defense or not. It's monitor the runtime monitor or the static time monitor or not there. Right? So to provide the access control management, that means authentication and authorization are proper or not to secure the particular network or internet. Right? So these kind of security measures by the CIC controls. So I explained a few of them. Those are the different malware defenses, means from the Trojan, from the rats, from the ransomware, from the deep dropper. Those are secure or not particular application. Data recovery means if there is any attack, then a backup or not from the controlling system. Okay. So these are a few security control measures by the critical security control, that means center of internet security. Okay. Now, what is threat modeling? We understood about the security framework. Okay. Now we understand threat modeling. Importantly, we will understand in the threat modeling what the more important process is here in the threat modeling. That is a stride. Okay, we'll discuss about the stride. But before the stride is the approach in the threat modeling. Before going to the stride approach, we will understand what is threat modeling. So, a systematic process to identify, analyze, and mitigate potential threats. That is a threat. So, important things. Threat modeling means understand the threats and then recover from that. Okay, that's simple way. Perform during design and development stages. Answer three questions: what can go wrong, how bad is it, what should be done about it. Okay, so what can go wrong, that means threat modeling does, if there is threats, what will be the wrong thing. Okay, how much it can affect the system on asset, this impact. What should be done means, if there is threat, what to do to recover from the threat and mitigate the potential threat. That is the main purpose of threat modeling. So, five key steps of the threat modeling process. Objectives, okay, what we want to accomplish, okay. Then second, visualizing what are we building. Third is identify the threat, what can go wrong. Fourth is a mitigate, what are we going to do about it. Fifth is validate. Okay, so objective, visualize, identify, mitigate, and validate. So we are, if any threat modeling tool is there, so there is a free certificate. I think it's a free only Microsoft Threat Tool. There's a threat modeling tool only to learn how to model the against threat, right? That means how to analyze, detect, and mitigate the potential threat. I will recommend to the listeners or viewers, they can do the Microsoft Threat Modeling tool. If you search on Google Microsoft Threat Modeling tool, then it will become. I will write here. You write Microsoft. Okay, I think it's same color, so we can change the color. Microsoft. If you write the micro, okay. No, that's not good. Like me is this. Now you can write read Microsoft Threat Modeling Tool. Right? If you search this in Google, Microsoft Threat. Okay, I'm writing by also it's like a Microsoft Threat Modeling Tool. Okay. So I think free maybe for 90 days. So you can learn from it what is the threat modeling. So set objective, visualizing, identifying threat, mitigating, and validating. Did we do a good job? So this is the threat modeling tool box. Okay, let's move. So I was this is like no problem. I think just visualize it. Okay, okay. Like Microsoft. Okay, now let's remove it. So I hope this too. Okay, so okay. Let's see the next slide. Uh, okay, so as we discussed the approach, the threat, Microsoft threat modeling tool is a stride and attack surface analysis. So there is two approach in the outline we talk. So I told the important approach is stride modeling. That is nothing but stride spoofing. Okay, stride is a, if we say about the stride, that is nothing but spoofing. Okay, spoofing. Okay, tampering, reputations, information disclosure, denial of service, elevation of privilege. Okay, so straight methodology means tampering, spoofing, reputations, information disclosure, denial of service, elevation of privilege. Okay, so that means that cover important things. If we talk about that, so first I will erase, then we will discuss about the how it works. Okay, then you can understand what are the meaning of those every points. Okay, like if we say first I will remove it here to is eraser. Okay, okay, so I will write the simple points to understand this. Okay, so we go to the Spoofing, okay. Spoofing means pretending to be someone or something else. That means kind of authenticity. Okay, authenticity. Kind of authenticity, that is pretending authenticity. Okay. That is kind of pretending to be someone or something else, such as stealing users' credential or session tokens, right? And tempering means integrity. That means modifying. Tempering means like we use the temper glass, right, on the mobile phone. That means modifying the something, right? That means in the network, the cyber security scenario, we can say modifying data files or network packets without authorizations, right? So we can say the integrity. It's related to the integrity. Okay? The- If you get the next repudiations means non-reputability, that means denying an action took place often due to lack of adequate logging or auditing. And that means lack of auditing or logging. Lack of adequate logging or the locking. Adequate lack of logging, okay. Adequate. Adequate means proper, right? Lack of logging or auditing, right? So that means kind of non-reportability. Okay. Information disclosure means confidentiality. So related to the information disclosure means comes under the confidentiality. Okay. We can write here confidentiality. Information disclosure on the yeah, confidentiality. That is related to the exposing sensitive data to the unauthorized individuals, right? That means some users are unauthorized and the data are exposing to them. So first I read them, then we will go to the next one. Okay, denial of service. If we say the talk about the denial of service, that is kind of we talk about the denial of service. We talk about the denial of service, that is kind of availability. Okay, that is kind of availability. 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 Okay, availability. Okay, what is this denial of service? Availability means disrupting service to make them unavailable. Okay, that means some service are there to make available, right? So what it does, it makes the service to unavailable, such as crashing a system or overwhelming it with the traffic. Suppose some internet system or some application system are working, right? So what can be done to make a denial of service? The crashing a system is possible or making over climbing of the traffic, right? Many brutal force attacking are there, like many traffics are there, so that the system will not be available. Now, last one is the elevation of privilege, that is kind of authorization. Okay, so we understand this is the authenticity, and this is authorization. Authorization. Okay. So that means a low privilege user elevation. A low privilege user gaining unauthorized high level access. Authorization. That means the company or the organization giving a more authorizations to the low privilege person, right? So that's the elevation of privilege. So this is a threat modeling approach to secure the to understand, that means the to understand the threats, that means identify and evaluate, then mitigate, okay, from that particular threat. That means it's a proactive security, right? Important thing of this threat modeling approach, it's a proactive security, right? That means it's continuously watch them and according to that, analyze and mitigate and prevent the system, okay, or the app. Now, attack surface analysis, what does it identify all entries point and attackers can exploit. Okay, focus on APIs, interface, users, and data. Okay, so importantly, we have to understood the stride model. So we understood the stride model. Okay, different stride modeling approach. So we can say it's a mnemonic based threat modeling methodology, right? Stride modeling. Okay, developed by Microsoft, as we discussed about previously, Microsoft threat modeling. Okay. So it is developed by Microsoft to identify and mitigate cybersecurity threats during the system design. Okay, so it's a during the design process, the company or the organization or the cybersecurity handler have to understand any cyber threats and mitigate them. Okay, that's under the stride model. Attack surface analysis, we go identify all entry points the attackers those can exploit the vulnerabilities and harm the assets. Okay, that focus on APIs. That focus on APIs. That means application programming interfaces, users, and data flows. Okay, so that analysis has to be done and make sure that make sure that the things which have the attackers or any malware or virus has been found that should be identified, analyze, and protect the system from them. Okay, uh, mainly the data interfaces and user like API security comes into this. Okay, we'll discuss more about the API security in the network security or the application and data security. Okay, mainly in the application and data security. Now let's go to the next one. Okay, okay, let's go to the next. Uh, Here. Okay, benefit of threat modeling. So we understood the stride attack surface analysis. So as we discussed, stride is a proactive security, right? So what it does, benefit, reduce vulnerabilities. That means the exploitation will be reduced and impact to the assets. That means the data, right? Applications, money that should be safe, right? Cost effective mitigations, right? It's a strategy to make sure there's a secure with the less cost. Okay, so spotting problem early in the development cycle, identify design flaws or weakness, identifying understanding possible attacks ahead of time, taking necessary steps to improve app and system security. That is completely identify, analyze, and mitigate. Okay, that's called a threat modeling process and benefit of that. So it's a process, mitigate, and tooling, right? Most frequent tooling is a Microsoft threat modeling tool is a frequently used to automate this process. Okay, and that has designed to like mainly if we say that is the designed for the software and it is applied to the network and internet of things systems. Okay, so a variant of stride if we discuss more later on, you can check more about it. So variant of stride model is a stride LM. That's some with the LM mean lateral movement for better address network defense. Okay, so threat modeling approach is a stride nowadays. The variant of stride, that is stride LM, that is the lateral movement. Okay, the stride lateral movement is also going to be used for better network defense. Okay, so but the purpose of the same identify, analyze, and mitigate the threats. Now, okay, now today's what we understood. Okay, today what we understood, security framework we understood, the main important security framework, NIST security framework. Okay, in the NIST security framework, we understood how it works, right? So what the process and steps and the framework it followed by the NIST, right? Then we understood about the ISO framework. ISO framework gives the security certificates by a third party, right? We understood the uh, it's governs, identify, protect, detect, and response, recover, right? The process of the NIST and ISO. The ISO is for the information system management, information security of system management, right? So those things we understood, and then we understood the threat modeling, why we needed to understand and mitigate the threats, right? What is the threat modeling? We understood the stride methodologies, right? The stride approach and the attack surface analysis approach we understood. And we understood why the threat modeling approach is necessary. And we understood the automation tool is the Microsoft threat modeling. And that is the threat modeling is a proactive cybersecurity, right? So that previously only before the attack, the organizations or the teams can understand the ongoing or the upcoming attacks, right? So that the application data can be secure, right? And the application surface analysis is for the interface, user, and data flows, right? So we understood about the security framework, why to follow, what is that, okay? We understood about the threat modeling, okay? How security framework uh, takes the responsibility for auditing, and then any organization and company has to like company can follow those rules and make sure the security upgradation in their organizations, right? By using the security framework and the threat modeling, right? So security framework decide the rule, documentation, and control, right? And then the threat modeling tool decide the proactive cyber security, right? So if any organization follows the threat modeling and the security framework, that organization can help the users and can also protect the data in their organization, so that the data will not the breach, okay, and there will not be any malware or the fraudulent attacks, right? So it actively can secure the user's data. Also, the users can believe on that organization. So these kind of things are important to make a data, information, and money saving for the organization and the users of the organization and the believers of that organization, right? It's a completely governing or securing process to make sure the data, application, like information, mainly the intellectual information, confidential information, and moreover the money of normal users will be secure in the process of using the a particular application and internet and the network or some uh, kind of like mobile application, banking application, those kind of things, right? So these are the understanding things we completed today about the security framework, mainly the NIST, ISO, and CIS. Okay, and then we understood the threat modeling approach, that is Stripe. So in the summary point, if we say we understood about the mainly about the NIST, okay, National Institute of Standard Technology, okay. So National Institute of Standard, National Standard of Bureau it was previously, but in 1988 it was become the National Institute of Standard Technology. Then we understood about the ISO, that is the global, that is USA based, okay. That is USA based, that's a global based. Okay, then we understood about the CIS for the internet. Okay, then we understood about the stride. Okay, stride approach for the threat model. Okay, stride approach for the threat model. Okay, so these are the things we understood mainly today. Why threat modeling needed? Okay, how it work? What are the NIST? How it work? What the ISO? How it works? Okay, so let me erase it. So I just make the glance view of all. And then, so important thing is the NIST from the today's class, NIST, ISO, National Institute of Standard Technology, International Organization for Standardization. Okay, then the threat modeling approaches, that is mainly STRIDE. So STRIDE approach we understood. Okay, so that is the important things here. We understood why the threat modeling is for threat modeling is necessary. Okay, what are those? Okay, and why is the uh, what is the straight approach? We understood everything. So this one we understood. Okay, important thing. This we understood, important thing. And the next one is this we understood as an important thing. Okay, so each word straight has a full form that we understood clearly. Okay, so this is simply slide also we discussed. Okay, so thank you everyone to listen this. As we discussed a few of things fast, but I summarized at last in the slow manner. So one line I will say the summary. This class is all about the understand the security framework that is belongs to the NIST ISO mainly, and then that is one is US based and one is a global based. Then next we understood why threat modeling is needed, what the threat modeling, mainly the stride approach. Okay. Thank you very much to listen to this lecture. And in the upcoming lecture, we will discuss more things, mainly about access control and the next about the cryptography. Thank you very much to listen this. Thank you.